All right, what I want to talk to you about today is a topic that comes up very frequently in the Razor's Edge Facebook group, in the community forums and places like that. This comes up really frequently. I've spent 25 years in fundraising, advancement, higher education. I've worked with a couple of medical organizations. I've worked with religious organizations, a few other social impacts, and I cannot stress how important this topic is: training and employee development, and how everybody has an obligation to make this a part of the culture and help drive the organization forward. I hear this a lot. Employers say they don't have time to let their employees train. They don't have the resources for it, and they just kind of put them in the mix and, hope for the best. And then I hear from staff that they don't have time to train. They're too busy. Their employer doesn't give them resources and so forth. And to me, this is the differentiator between high-performing organizations, those that are future-focused and achievement-focused, and those organizations that they're just going to lag behind. They're just going to always be in the background, and that is an absolute truism I've seen over the years. So what do we do? We'll look at this from two different perspectives. Let's look at this from both the leadership perspective, and let's look at it from the staff perspective. From the leadership perspective, leaders, decision makers, you absolutely have to make training and employee development a part of your culture, and you need to make it an inviolate part of your culture. You need to do what 3M used to call the 15% rule. The 15% rule was a part of 3M's culture where their workers could feel free to focus on, for 15% of the week of their working time during the week, the month, 15% of their time was about working on the projects they wanted to work on, not necessarily what they were tasked with or what was a part of their portfolio, but what they wanted to work on, what drove their imagination, what engaged them. One of the most important inventions to come out of that were Post-it notes. Can't live without them today. You can, it's just not fun. But there's lots of other examples. Google used to call it the 10% rule, and so many of Google's inventions came out of the 10% rule as well, including, among other things, Gmail. Okay, so for those of you in Razor's Edge land, which is primarily who I'm speaking to, but it's true of just about any industry. It isn't just advancement services. It's not just development, fundraising, and the like. It's just about everything. You have to invest. You have to give employees time to understand what's coming down the pike with the total web solution, with the technologies that Blackbaud is positioning out there to be kind of necessary adjuncts or add-ons to the service. Things like Power Automate and a few other Microsoft solutions. This is just absolutely essential. If you can send them to a conference, send your employees to a conference. If you can do nothing but webinars, then give them time to do the webinars. Pay for the webinars if there is a cost. Anything that is going to help keep your employees relevant for your organization and keep them moving forward, keep the organization moving forward, that's money well spent. Training is not an expense. It is not a cost. It's revenue. It is a payment to the organization. And that is the only way that it should ever be looked at. Now for staff, I was only talking to employers right there. Now I'm talking to staff. You need to make this a part of your daily, weekly, monthly operations as well. You need to take that training opportunity and you need to dive into it. You need to make self-improvement, staff development, training, that is a part of your personal mindset, okay? The organization should make it a part of the cultural organization, but you need to make that a part of your personal mindset, okay? Now, however much time your employer gives to you for training, you need to spend just as much time on your own time. This is your investment in yourself. Yes, the employer needs to give you some on-the-job time for it, but you need to go beyond that. You need to take time in your personal world to continue your journey as a member of the workforce. When you went to college, when you went to school, when you went to trade school, whatever, you did that on your own time. More than likely, your employer was not paying for that. Maybe some, but not a lot. I hear you that sometimes, yes, there are employers that they're willing to, send you for a certificate, send you for, some post-baccalaureate training, professional certificates, whatever. Okay, that's one thing. But what I'm talking about is, you need to still make this a part of your personal approach to keeping yourself functioning and energized in your field, in your profession. So advancement services, I think we're a little unique in that we have to be maybe not experts, but we have to know an awful lot about development. We have to know quite a bit about finance, and we have to know quite a bit about technology. We're at the intersection of several different areas as knowledge workers, and training for us, I think, is at least as important, if not more important, than the rest of the development or the rest of the fundraising spectrum, the rest of the advancement spectrum. So that's my twofold urging to employers and staff for keeping your organization set and ready for the future. Later, I'll talk about, actual technology choices, actual options that are there for improving yourself. But for right now, training, keep training always on your mind.